Welcome back to another episode. So in the last one, we were busy. We built this tower here, the Wizard's Tower. Not done any extras, but I have done this. I've done a little gazebo between episodes. I've also moved my Nether portal to where the ruins are going to be. I'm going to work on them today. But yeah, just a little gazebo. I think the colours of it, like the pinks and the whites, going well. The azaleas, just a little gazebo on the edge here that complements that build pretty well. I'll find a way to connect the two at some point. But yeah, the portal's been moved, so we're in this area because I think we could do a nice little walkway between that and that into this area. So that's where I think that's why the portal will be in a nice place there, on the edge of the world, like on the island. But you know, it's out of the way. And, you know, it could potentially just be a nice little thing there. So, I mean, my idea for the ruins is I've never done a ruin before. I'm going to build a little circular tower, and then take blocks away and put the blocks around the edge. So I feel like that way then it's just like bits falling off from it. I think that's going to be the better way of doing that for me personally, of a way of doing it. And I think that's going to be, you know, the easier way. There might be a better way of doing it, but I don't know. But then, yeah, in the background, as you can see, we have the little gazebo there, and this. So when I was building this area, and I thought about this, and I thought the creaking hurt from the last update, I thought, well, you type the creakings, you get resin. I'm going to need a lot of resin for one of my projects that I've got that we're going to do in this episode as well. So I was like, right, what do we need to do? I think we need to make a resin farm. So in the farming area, there's a trading hall. I've flattened this area of land and lit it up because I want to make a resin farm. So got a little box of bits in here, like a lot of the rails from the last project and some smooth stone. But I'm going to need, you know, like some of this stuff. So the creaking hurts definitely, and the pale oak logs, just because when you do like an oak log, a creaking heart, and an oak log on top, it activates it, and then we can then at night time get creakings. You know, you just give them, once they get near to you, you give them a whack, and it will create the resin on the things that we need. So I need to design a way that I can then automatically harvest the resin that comes on there. So I'm thinking maybe, you know, like a couple of pistons to move some of the blocks, and then, you know, when it gets to daytime, you know, we're fine. But then at the same time, I also need something that just keeps me safe from the creakings. Now, I believe if I just put something like on a third block as a roof over me, that's like maybe a 2x2, and then stand in the middle, I should be safe, because I don't think they can get you then. So I'm going to play about, and we're going to get some ideas together, and hopefully I can get a nice designed farm going. I've been playing around a little, and what I've come up with is this. So it's probably not the best and most efficient thing out there. You can see we've got the creaking hearts that are all activated because they're in between. We've got some hoppers around, and we've got some pistons just on the blocks connected up to this thing. So when you press it, pushes them out and then pushes them back, which any kind of resin that's on there will get rid of, same as on around the back, and it stops any from spawning up on top of here. So it just prevents a bit of loss, and I think it might force them to spawn like the resin on these bits. And then this bit is just here so that I can stand under here and the creakings not hit me. So I think it's good all explaining it, but I think we're going to have to wait for this sun to go down, wherever it is. Actually, it is going down now. So we can just stand here and then show you what it's like when it's in action. Well, as you can see, we've had some creaking spawn. So I think the first thing that we have to do, yeah, that one's coming here. But it's like some of these ones, and as you can see, my back's to this guy. And, you know, he's doing nothing, but only a couple of them are here. You know, give them a quick whack, and we get resin spawning. first thing I got to do is actually corral some of them together. So I just got to run, just basically get them in the line of sight and then come back. And then they all start coming. So they aren't going to hit me. They can't get me here. But I can just do this, hit a few of them. Get this resin spawning. Even when they're all in sight, I can do this. Run out, get a few more in, and then, if in doubt, press it, all the resin comes off, and it goes in. So I've done this a few times, like I had a couple of nights go through it. You know, it's not the best because we still do, you know, like have some drop here, but it's all well and good. We can run around, pick them up, and then chuck them into the hoppers, and they get connected back in. But this is where we're at with this one. So we've got quite a decent amount right now. I don't know if it's going to do for what I want to do today, but we'll soon find out. And the other thing that I'm going to need for today is this thing. Now, it doesn't look like much from this side. Going out from this side, you can see we've got soul soil. We've got blue ice. It's a basalt generator. So, you know, it's just your standard with your lava on one side flowing in. It touches it. With that, creates basalt. So we've got renewable basalt. Like a cobblestone generator. Or a stone generator like we've got over there. You know, it's just a quick and easy little manual farm. We have plenty of basalt as well. That's another thing that I've been doing. Now, why do I need both of these things? Well, it's for the project for the day. And the project for the day is in here. So it's in the nether. So the first thing we'll do is we're going to sort out the nether side and get some designs in. So let's go in and show you what we've got so far. So in the nether so far, it is very similar to how I have like the kind of tunnels down connecting my farms together. So this is my home portal. I've got this underground. It did start off like up there, I think, but you know, we've moved it to where we wanted it to. And down here we have just a long tunnel that goes over here to a portal here, and then this portal when we go in, I keep forgetting how it brings you out on this portal, but this one brings you out to our end portal. So we've got our end portal there. So yeah, we just need to figure out a design in here and the tunnels and everything like that. I'm thinking we go something like this. So I'm in the testing world. You know, we might change these ones out, but you know, you get a nice little oval pattern, a bit of light, utilizing the resin, utilizing the basalt, and then cobbled deep slate in the brick pattern. You know, we can then eventually swap out some of the bricks for the broken bricks. But I think doing that on both sides, it's a nice 10 wide pattern. I think doing that is nice. So we're going to start putting this one in. So it's been a little bit of time in between clips. As you can see, I've got a little bit here and there. But I've done the majority of the first set of tunnels in the nether. So this is what it's like at the moment. So as you can see, we've got something a little bit here. I did start getting a bit out with my timings of placing blocks because it was a very repetitive thing. As you can see, you look down there and there's a turn off here. So as you can see, it goes a long way, but it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of this design all the way through, whereas you get the odd one where it's like this, where it was just out of the way. This one, for some reason, I put back the shroom light, but it's a lot of shroom lights. It's a lot of resin, and we've got some black concrete up at the top. But going down here, everything pretty much follows the same. So you've got like resin clumps here and there to make it look like, you know, especially when you get bits like that with lava dripping down, it just looks like little bits of lava here and there. I think the resin does complement it a little bit. Sometimes a bit of resin on the shroom light as well, just to give it a bit of a different look. I'm kind of happy with where this is, and you know, it goes all the way down here. It stops here. I'm only up to this bit, so it stops here. This portal is the portal leading to the end, so I'm going to decorate this one with end stone and things like that. But it got to the kind of end of it. You can see where my blocks kind of ended. You know, cobbled deep slate at the bottom. I think in the tile format we've got basalt pillars. We've got black stone resin, you know, so it's very much the orange just makes it all pop. Going all the way down here. As you can see, it gets to a little bit of a weird bit. This is where this is. And then a turn round where, you know, if I wanted to, if there's anything that needs it, it can go down this way. And then a set of stairs going up. So the sides are done all the way to the top. You kind of get all the way to the top here. And you're at the fortress. So, you know, easy access to the fortress. I will probably decorate something at the bottom so you know that that's what the only reason you're going up there. But I think for now, this is where this can stop, because part of me wants to just get on with actually like building a little build. This has took some time. It's been a long time between clips, really, that I've done. You know, Christmas has been, January has been, it has been that long between clips doing this, just because it's taken that long to do. So what do I want to do this episode? Well, you can see the startings of it here. So we've got the portal in here. It's, you know, we did move it. It's up at this top of the island. I want some ruins here, but I've never done ruins. I mean, it's bad enough that you've got the wandering trader just up there, just being weird. So I've built this up. I think it's about 13 tall, and I think the only way that I can do a ruin is if I build it up and then destroy it. So the first thing I want to do is take some inspiration from something that I pass quite often where I live. So let me just pop it on the screen. So this is actually a water tower. It's not actually that far from my house. Like, it's just off the main road. So when I'm driving to and from work and everything, I pass it pretty much every day. Now, it looks weird to me. I still don't understand why this is a water tower and how it is. But it is. It's a water tower, so you can see it's pretty tall. We've got some, you know, like glass indents. Now, I'm not going to get anything perfectly circular unless I go crazy scale. So I do need to understand that that's it. But what I do like about it, it's got that kind of cobble look. It's got a bit of an indent, and it's got some pillars, recesses. It's got another indent on the outside, and then it's pretty flat, and then it's like a flat top. So this is where I'm going to kind of take inspiration from. When I'm actually making this up when I'm doing it. And as you can see, just with like this kind of, if you're from England, you know, a Ford Transit, pretty tall this one is. So I think where I am at the minute is it's in a good place. So, you know, the first thing that I did was, you know, we've built up a tower, you know, and then what I want to do is I actually just want to, I think, like I said, the first thing I want to do is actually build it up and then ruin it. I think that might be the best way for me to actually do it. So I've got some like slabs where I think where this has just gone here, if I put them in right, if I slab on this one, so we've got some slabs on all the way around. You know, so that gives me that kind of first thing. That also gives me somewhere where these stone walls can then sit on top and go up. So let me just figure out a nice place for these walls, because that way it doesn't actually make it look too far out of place. So if I think, I mean, if I do one in, because these are 3. If I put one on this one, and then if I finish it with this going across again on this one, gives me 2 blocks around. I might just make this a little bit like 1 taller or something, but we can soon see how it looks with these bits on. And this is just the first block as well. Ow. This is just the first block, like, of the palette. You know, I'm gonna change blocks out. This is just so I can get shapes in. I mean, you can't really tell that there's walls in there, but then if I was to put one there and one there, and maybe one, there's, how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I put one on that one on that one, and then we can put maybe some on the inside to then recess it, that might look good. Let's give that a try. So I spent a bit of time and I'm at this. So we've got it's lighting, it's got indented walls, it's got walls going out. I think it's definitely not square this anymore, but you know, you can see where I've took the inspiration. You know, it's got the little indents going out of it, it's got the recesses. The next thing I've got to do is replace a lot of this stone brick, so I'm going to replace it with normal stone. I'm recording this clip now where it's going dark, so hopefully I can see that it actually lights up at the top, because I have lights on the inside. So you can see I've got lights there and lights there, so there shouldn't be any issues with lighting, even if I take that one out. The normal ground lighting that I have everywhere, it shouldn't be an issue. I should see this light up. I might need to put one in on each of the sides as well, but you know, we're not going to get anything spawning on it. That's definitely not going to be an issue. So I think the next thing I need to do is replace a lot of, I think I might keep the stone bricks on the inside, but the outside I might do some normal stone and then swap it to andesite and see how we get from that. This is where I am with it, with the nice sun going up behind it. I'm not that good at doing gradients, I really am not. No, that is just the sun there behind it, giving it a bit of light. But yeah, that's where we are with it. We've got some stone, we have some andesite, we have stone bricks on the insets. Put some more of like the wall pieces down here, so it kind of looks like these were put in first. Inside, nothing to look at right now, still exactly the same as it was, just the changes in the blocks. So the next thing I want to do is actually ruin this. So I think potentially I'm going to take down a lot of this bit, like maybe make a big chunk out of it so that there's some missing. This or you know what, it might actually look better on this side, it being done. So then when you look in here, there's a big kind of hole this way. Basically, I just want to take out a lot of blocks from it. And then that way, the blocks that I get rid of, I can scatter around. And then that way it looks like, you know, it's just bits have fallen off. Or, you know, like bits have just gone over time. But I should be left with a certain amount of blocks that are in there so that we can then see where we get to it. So I'm going to start taking some blocks away and see where we end up. I've been doing some work as per usual, and we have got this, and I think it's fairly finished now, minus the wandering traders and the cows going round. But as you can see, we've made it a ruin. You can see through to the other side. You know, we've got the portal still in the main bit, but I've done some bits, and I think I've used some blocks that I didn't think I would use, and I've tried to do things that in a way makes sense to me, but I don't know if it's right. So let's get into it. So the one thing I wanted to do is go over and, you know, like make a big ruin hole. I possibly went a little bit too low to make the ruin, but then we started piling up some boulders around here. So it's like as if people have, you know, it fell all the way down here, but people have kind of moved everything into piles as they go along. So it's nice and come in, and it looks, you know, like you can see if you look there, well, there was bits of it here and there that you can see. And then we've put in some pale moss as well. I think the pale moss, even though it looks a little bit green compared to the other ones, it does tie it all together with the normal grass. I mean, the normal grass will go at points. But on this side, this was the more ruined side for me when I was doing it. Like, take a lot of the blocks out, swap a lot of blocks out, and then do things like we've done on other builds where, you know, we put some stairs in so that you get little blocks like breaks in it. Take some of the walls out so you get breaks in it. Change something as simple as just changing that to the cracked one. I wish we got more cracked options in other brick blocks. I think that would make it so much better for telling stories. Then the other half of the build, on this half, you know, we've got a little thing, but this half is more mossy than the other half. So I used a lot more moss bricks on this side because I figured, and this is where I said it might make sense, it might not make sense. I figure it's coming from the water's edge, like the water. If we get, you know, if a big gust from the sea comes in and blows in, this side's going to be more prone to moss. I don't know if I really don't know if that's a thing, but if it is, let me know. But that's the way that I'm thinking with this one, like trying to tell the story. You know, we can see it's a ruin, we can see it's been here a long time, and that's why I put more moss on this, like this set of blocks, to make it more like algae. And especially with this one where I've just put it a slab on top, making it look like, you know, it's just on top, on the top bits. I put a little thing down here as well. So again, you know, it's fell off, it's fell in, and you know, over time it's just congregated. I think having this moss in here makes it, you know, it's algae and things like that. It's slimy. It makes it gives you that kind of feel where, like, if you were to put your hand on it, it would be slimy. It's giving it a bit of story, a bit of life. And inside, I've not really done much. It's just your kind of standard stuff. You know, it's only gone for in and out. The next thing I need to do, really, and I'll probably do this in between episodes, I need to make a path to about here where this torch is, so that I can then eventually, when I figure out what I'm doing in this bit, connect it up. But I don't want to put a path all the way in, then have to rip it all out. It seems like unnecessary work. And then everything as well has hidden lighting. So as you can see there, you know, we've got lanterns everywhere, just because I had a lot of spare lanterns. Not decided what I'm going to do in this bit to maybe bridge the gap. I mean, that's why we've got this here, just for the hidden lighting. We do need some bridging the gap. I mean, we've got a fish still there. We need to do something with that. One thing that I was doing while I was doing this was I was looking at sight lines again in the world. So, you know, you come from here. It's a monument in the world. You go over this side, it's still there, but it can be hidden by other builds. You know, it's not the be-all, end-all building in there. That's the one thing that I'm trying to do with this. I've always tried to... I mean, this is the tallest thing still in the world, I think. Just going like that. But, you know, especially when you get to this part, like this side of the island, you know, the moment we cross... I mean, you've got 3 landmarks here, in a way. Like, we've got a windmill, we've got ruins. It points up. But then, you go over to this side... You've hidden it. That's one of the things that I wanted to do is hide it. The only place that I've not looked at it from is over this side where like the dock and everything is. So let's do that now. Alright, so going in through the dock entrance. I might need to do something with this flooring and change it up to make it a bit more patterned and things, and make it look more worn rather than just one full thing. It's there. I mean, we can't definitely not say it's not there. But going down here... it's one little jut out on its own. I like that. I mean, we're going to have, like, a manor, so we're going to have a bit of a bigger building here. I like how that just looks like a little house. You know what? That's one thing that I never checked on this side as well, was that tower. That just looks like a little house. That's good. I like that. And this. So, you know, you're coming off the ship for whatever reason. You know, you're coming in, you're coming down. I mean, you can definitely tell there, but when you're getting down to this kind of sea level, that's good. And then, yeah, I mean, we still need to figure out what we're doing here with the sand area. But that, I like that. You can definitely tell there's a ruin of some kind there. I mean, you can't see how close it is with all the moss and everything. That only works when you start getting closer. I mean, even here, you can just about start telling some moss. But you can definitely tell there's 2 sides to this build, kind of split in the middle. You got the more ruined and more moss. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. You know, we spent a lot of time doing little bits here and there. Next episode, I think we're going to start tackling the manor as well. We're going to do some more things over this side. I think we're going to do this manor. I like the layout that we have here. It might change, or I might do something else with it, but it might go a little bit tall to look out. But we're going to do this manor mansion. What did I call it? Manor. Yeah, we're going to do something with this manor. It'll lead into the kind of communal gardens and then we will see where it goes from there, and then we will look at maybe doing a new farm. But thank you very much if you've made it to the end, and I'll see you next time. Bye.